Welcome friends. In this video, I am going to discuss about how to create a database through Python script. Okay, very important. Don't miss this video. Watch this video till the end. You have to better understanding about how Python helps you to create a database by using the built-in Python libraries and functions. Okay, that is called a packages. So in previous video, I already told you about how there is a database, MySQL database you have to install, what is Jam server, and how you connect your Python to MySQL database by Python package installer via MySQL connector, which helps you. So in this video, I am going to help you about to creating the database, how to create the database, because it's very important. If you are not able to create a database, then it are not going to work. Okay, so first of all, you have to create a database through Python script, not going directly to inside the MySQL database and create there. I create here directly inside the Python script. So let's see what are the processes and steps. So first of all, I go through this document, then I move on to my editor. Okay, for the creating the database, you have to create one file name, any file name you have to give in the Python file name. So first of all, you have to import the MySQL connector. Then you have to create the object, that is a MySQL object. Okay, MySQL MyDB object. Then inside this MyDB object, you have to define your username, host, username, and password. These three things. Okay, host, username, and password. What is your host? That's called as a local host. What's your username? That's called a username. That's a username. You have to give in. That's a default username. That is called a root, and password. There is nothing you have to give in inside a password. Okay. Then you have to important point. Don't forget about it. Cursor. Okay. What is cursor? Cursor is the function, and that function will help you to execution of different SQL commands. Okay. If you are going to insert, if you want to creating any SQL command like database creation, insert a records inside a database, creating the table inside a particular database. So how could you do it? So you have to need a specific function which helps you to execute that SQL commands. So inside my MySQL connector package, okay, which are included inside this particular code, MySQL connector, it helps you, but it brings you one function that is called a cursor. How? Because after creating my object, my DB object, it access the cursor. By helping this my cursor object, it execute the function. There is a function called the execute function, and inside that execute function, within double quote, you have to define the SQL command. And this SQL command will be fired when it is going to run the script. It fired and creating the database. Okay. If it is giving you no errors, then you have to think that the database is already successfully created. Okay. So this is the one command. If you want to see what are the all the databases are present, so there is another command called as show databases. So here show databases, when you type, it will list you all the databases by help of the MyCursor object. Okay, so execute function is very important, and if you are not using this function, you can't fire SQL commands. Okay, through Python. So there is a, if you want to see my database is created and successfully it is returns or not, there is a last particular way. Inside the MyDB object, you have to define that host, user, and password. But inside that, another parameter you are going to add it, that is called a database, because it generally define, and this object, MyDB object, generally connect this database when you're going to create a connect function, and at that time you have to access the database. Whatever the tables operations you need through data database, you can go through it. Okay, fine. So let's start. So if you before class, I sorry, in previous class, I already go for the MySQL connect. Okay, so these three lines, every file you are going to create. Okay, okay. So first of all, I will do created MySQL Python MySQL. I send it, yes. Inside this particular, I created another file, Python MySQL db create.py. So here create database and show all databases and check data and then check the particular database with connect. Okay, so now we have to first import MySQL dot connector, MySQL dot connector like this connector. Okay, then come out to the MyDB, the database connect object, MySQL dot connector dot connect. Inside this, there are other functions. You have to delete that. Host, username, and there is password. Okay. After the end of this particular MySQL DB created, then there is also comes out as a database parameter. Okay. So here only host, username, and password. So here I am not having any password. So I will using as a default username and password. So after that you have to check it's created, it exists or not. MyDB colon print connection. Okay, then else come out the else part, and here you have to print unsuccessful connection, unsuccessful connection on. Okay, so first of all you have to check it. Okay, so here there is a called as a MySQL connector dot connect, no module MySQL. Okay, then just everything is fine here. MySQL dot connector. So here it is giving a error. MyDB MySQL connector dot connect, MySQL dot connector dot connect. Okay, no module here also given. Why it is giving this specific? Here before that it is giving you right result, but now it is giving you error. Okay, first of all fix another time and print here. Yes, it's right. Then I have to delete this code another time. Here I'm coming out, then run it. Yes, connected. Okay, there is something bug is around here. That's why it is giving you inside the terminal, but the code is right. Okay, the connection is successful. So now I have to creating the database. So how to create a database? How to execute the SQL query? There is a function called the execute function, but there is a need of MySQL cursor. Okay, without cursor function, it cannot be work. Okay, so my cursor equal to MyDB dot cursor 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 function. So after that particular cursor function, there is called a SQL command called as a MySQL, the my cursor, okay, dot execute, okay, dot execute, my cursor dot execute. Within that execute function, you have to type there create database. Database name is given as a Python Nimbertech Python. Okay, don't give numeric. You have to write here Lingaraj. Okay, so see if it is successfully created, executed this function, this particular function, execute this command is successfully created. Okay, so first of all, if my cursor returns true, print created successfully. Else print not created database. Okay, so I am selected this area, that's why it is error coming out. So when I am filling outside this area, then it is not giving any error. Okay, so here also giving that error, that's why. Connected, yes, created successfully. So here database created successfully. So how could you know the database created or not? Go through the web, open the Chrome, type here as a localhost, and so how could you reach here? And if you not watch my previous video, go to that video, see how I reach PHP my admin by help of the jump, and then come to this video. If you are not watch my previous video, it's difficult for you to understand how to work on this PHP my admin. So localhost, when you type the localhost, it comes out this screen, and after this menu, here this menu called as a PHP my admin menu item. When you click on it, you reach this specific dashboard. Okay, MySQL PHP my admin dashboard. So it is the background is going on MySQL database procedures, but inside in the front end, that is a web based and interactive way. It is giving a perfect dashboard to handle the databases and its operations. So in the backwards, it's a backend side is also working as a MySQL concept. Okay, so don't worry about PHP my admin what is MySQL. Both are working same. If the database created here successfully, you know how PHP admin working on this same database, that's a MySQL. But the dashboard is naming as a PHP admin because there is a particular language called as a PHP language. PHP one type of programming language, okay, for writing the server side program, and it's also called as scripting language also. So here there is called a LingarajTechhub. See, there is written as a LingarajTechhub. I am written as a LingarajTechhub Python. Okay. Where is LingarajTechhub Python? So here LingarajTechhub Python. LingarajTechhub. There is not giving any LingarajTechhub. Yes, inside this particular given, it is the bulk of LingarajTechhub. But it's the bulk groups is it is then converted to the groups. If I connected here inside outside the group, right click here. It's a created, but inside the group there is a LingarajTechhub group. Inside the LingarajTechhub group, it's generally declared the database. Okay, this is the database. Okay, there is no table, create table, no tables found in the database. So the DB here written as a DB equal to LingarajTechhub underscore Python. Understood? So it's created, but now I want to see all the databases. Okay, what are the databases present to this particular MySQL? Okay, so here lots of databases here you have to see here. If I close it, there is a lots of databases. I want to see everything inside my console. So how could you know? So first of all, you have to create another file inside this that is called a show all databases through Python MySQL. Python MySQL show dbase.py. Okay, when it is coming here you have to write the comment to show all databases exist in your MySQL. Okay, in your MySQL. Okay, now you have to write here same thing. Okay, you have to repeat the same statements on before my two files which are going to writing connection. After connection, there is a execute function, cursor function, then execute function by help of the cursor object. Okay, you have to write in the same thing. But I am not going to write another time. I copy them. Okay, I copy this thing. From here, copy entire thing, and here come out to paste that thing, and also changes on here. So inside this, you have to not create. You are not going to create any database. You have to write a source database. So databases. So databases, and in the below, yeah, here you have to write command, SQL command, execute successfully. Here you have to change this. Okay, error on SQL command. Okay, fine. So after that, you have to see all the databases in the console. Okay, how could you see? You using the for x in my cursor colon print x. Here helps you to loop out all the databases and show you on a console. Okay, so it is repeatedly showing me. Okay, but the code is working fine. Okay, everything is coming out. So here see all the databases are comes out in my console. It's showing you all the databases by writing the single line of SQL code that is called a so databases. Okay, that is so databases. Okay, fine. So if you want to run another time, you can run it. Okay, no issue because it is the another file, Python file. So here connect. Okay, fine. It shows you all databases. SQL command execute successfully, connection successfully. Here, your LingarajTechhub, right? Present or not? Because here all the LingarajTechhub is in the one LingarajTechhub group. Inside the LingarajTechhub group, there is LingarajTechhub 2, LingarajTechhub underscore Python will be mentioned. And inside these databases, I am creating the table. Inside the table, I insert the generally records, insert records, and you can fetch that record, update that record, delete that records. Okay, there is very interesting SQL commands present, and upcoming videos I explain everything. Okay, so there is a one point I am going to cover in this video, that is final point. So if you want, so here I am taken as a MySQL connector connect, and inside this MySQL connector connect there is a localhost, user and password. But now you have to give in here another parameter that is called as a database. So in which database you want to connect? Okay, in which database you want to connect? So in my Python MySQL connect already create that file. So inside this file I am to mention that database equal to single quote. I am generally added the database name underscore Python. Okay, LingarajTechhub underscore Python. Fine. When it is run it, okay, it shows your object successfully. Okay, if there is any issue, it shows you that issue. It connected successfully to the database. Okay, very interesting. Okay, so at the end, it's a complete all the things, creating the connection, how to install the database, how to connect Python to the database, how to write SQL commands, and how you connect your database by SQL by MySQL connector connect function. Very important. MySQL dot connector dot connect. Connect is the function which contain multiple parameters: host, username, password, database. In upcoming videos, these two lines, import package, then connector object. Okay, this object, MyDB object, is repeatedly used. Okay, with four parameters. Okay, okay, with four parameters, because creating the table, insert the records inside the table. If you are not ready for the connect to the database through Python, it's not possible to create the table. It's not possible to create any insert any command, because after creating the database, you have to privilege to access the database. So it's not requirement for the multiple number of times to create database multiples and write the different SQL commands. So once you have to create the one time of database, then you have to whatever the operations you need inside your SQL database, you go through it, you directly type SQL commands and access it. So you have to given these four parameters every Python SQL commands. Otherwise, it cannot work. Okay. So you have to mention database and which database you are going to work. You have to define. Fine. That's all. If you like this video, please like and subscribe it, and please share this video. It's benefited for the others programmers who wants to learn Python. Thank you.